Governor Hot Wheels down there. Come on now. And the only thing hot about him is that he is a hot mess.
Hands up, hands up. I'm Senator Alex Padilla. I have questions for the secretary, because the fact of the matter is a half a dozen violent criminals that you're rotating on your hands off.
On the ground. On the ground. Hands behind your back. Hands behind your back.
If you let my hands go, I put them behind my back.
All right. Cool. Good hand. Lay flat. Lay flat.
Greatest hits 2025. That's just from the last 6 months. Some of the theatrics from Democrats. You know, I honestly thought they might calm down, give in to resignation after the second election to the presidency of Donald Trump. But instead, no. You've got D-list theater kids. Why? I guess part of the reason is because they're at their lowest point in 35 years, so they're flailing. Look at this. Democrats have a net favorability rating that's underwater by 30 points. I mean, that is flailing. You're sinking, looking for the life draft. But there are others who, if they're not D-list actors, they've tried to promote themselves to D+, C- actors. I give you Eric Swalwell.
Hey everybody, I just finished my workout. Hope you got your workout in.
What's the weight on this?
315.
All right, so let's talk about housing. I grew up in a working class family here in the Hudson Valley. My mom worked at the Postal Service for 47 years, and my dad was in construction. We didn't have much, but we could afford a roof over our heads. Now, that's getting harder and harder for working families.
That was Colin Allred, in part, as a warm-up act for California Congressman Eric Swalwell, who is in a league of his own.
I should be working right now. I should be at the Capitol. I should be in a suit. Instead, Republicans sent us home. I should be working right now. I should be in Congress. I should be voting to lower your costs. But instead, I'm in a pool because Republicans sent everyone home because they don't want to release the Epstein files. I should be in Washington, D.C. I should be voting to bring down your healthcare costs, the cost of the grocery store, and restore your rights.
Okay. All right. Okay, Congressman. Joining me now is founder of Turning Point USA, Charlie Kirk. Charlie, I don't know the right analogy. It's like you got a friend that's so desperate in whatever his endeavor. He's just so desperate. At this point, he's beyond embarrassment. That's Eric Swalwell.
Oh, I have a lot to say about Eric Swalwell, but I don't know if all of it I can say right now. However, we'll broaden this. The Democrats trying to appeal to younger men going to the gym, it feels like Joe Biden when he tried to download TikTok. He didn't even understand what he was doing. He was trying to, am I taking a selfie? Am I taking a picture here? Look, the Democrat Party, it's not a problem that they haven't used enough kettlebells or they haven't done enough bench press or enough pull-ups. Their entire agenda, their entire worldview is toxic to half of the population, whether it be men and female sport and the deterioration of fairness, whether it be the downfall of regular masculine norms in our country, or the assault on free speech, the overly politically correct culture, or the downfall of blue-collar jobs and the rise in pink-collar jobs. The Democrats have a much bigger problem than them just trying to film themselves bench pressing. It's much more structural and much deeper.
Okay, let's go into some of that is deeper and structural. Because it's not just bad ideas. It's ideas that have taken root, Charlie, over the past, let's give it 10 to 15 years. And we've seen the price that we've paid in society for the lack of quality, actually the toxicity, the cancerous nature of these ideas. And here's just the latest example. This is a poll that came out by the Financial Times, Charlie, of what's happening with young men. Now, there's a lot of great hope out there for young men, Charlie. You're out there with Turning Point USA. I actually have teenage boys, so I actually see some hope with younger men. But we have to go through this first, which shows not just the U.S., but UK, Canada, and France. And it's young men between the age of 20 and 24, that's what you see on your screen, who are choosing, it has to be the word choice, neither to work, look for work, or to get an education. So that number in the U.S. rising up to 10%, you can see in the UK it's up towards 15%, of young men basically, Charlie, checking out.
They are checking out. They are the lost boys of the West. And this is worthy of a longer conversation. But really quick, they're checking out largely because the entire society has become hostile to them. They've been told that they were toxically masculine. You look at, for example, in the United Kingdom, they had an entire documentary, not even a documentary, a movie called Adolescence that was all about that young white Christian boys are somehow a threat to the entire country. And the Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, praised that movie as much-watched film for the entire country. We see it all throughout our nation as well. This is a major problem because it also is really surfacing, and we're seeing it in the dating pool as well. Marriage rates are down, fertility rates are down, and the emphasis of the point needs to be made. It's the young men that are voluntarily checking out of society. This means that their psychology is broken, Will.
Yes.
That means that their mindset is broken. We have economics problems, but it's something more than that. It is soul crushing, which is why one of the things that has given me hope, I know you've covered this beautifully, is that young men are starting to go back to church. That is the most important thing. As they start to give more of their lives to Jesus Christ and put God first, they'll have more purpose and more why rather than checking out of society.
I think you're absolutely right, Charlie. It is what you saw on your screen with that chart isn't structural in terms of the lack of jobs. That's part of a bigger picture. But this, at this age, is a choice, which is psychological. And that psychological effect is a combination of things, Charlie, that you point out. It's a lack of faith. It's also being taught to be soft, not to be manly, to wallow in your trauma, to be constantly in the self-analysis phase, to lose purpose, to not put one foot in front of the other. It's all of these things that are a break in the psychology of young men. And you ultimately have people who are not men of action. Not like you, Charlie, because we saw you on Fox and Friends Weekend, okay? We saw you as a man of action trying to lasso, okay? So let's just all enjoy this together. This is Charlie on Saturday.
Oh, Trump.
Hey, Charlie, we had a problem child here.
So what?
Big time.
Yeah.
Hold that with your left hand.
I'm raised on a farm.
That's with your right hand.
All right.
They don't do this in Chicago.
How do you hold the... I got one horn.
Here, set me up.
I got a horn.
Set me up.
I got a horn here.
So you want to keep your thumb down. There you guys are close.
There we go.
Okay, first of all, Charlie, the other Charlie's busy yelling he got a horn, and you tossed your lasso underhand.
Listen, I was raised in Chicago. At least they got me on a horse. That took a lot of persuasion and a lot of will. You know, by the way, you know this, Will. Hosting that show is a lot of work, but it's a thrill. You get a total experience of stuff that you never get to do otherwise. But isn't that what it's all about? More people need to be willing to try new stuff, be willing to fail. And sometimes you fail on national television in front of millions of people, of which I totally own the fact I have no idea how to lasso a bull or any. I have no idea. It's a lot harder than you think. But I did get on a horse. How many people can say they got on a horse in downtown Manhattan and New York City?
Exactly. I see you on that horse on our screen. By the way, the lesson of Fox and Friends is you're going to have a lot of fun. You're going to talk about serious issues. You're also going to check your dignity and your gravitas at the door when you come in. They're going to have you do all kinds of things. But the best part of that, Charlie, is what you learn is you're not made up of the superficial image of yourself. I know I'm getting serious, but it's true. You're more than your ridiculous, embarrassing moments on TV.
True.
I think it's a lot of fun. I'm glad to have you there this weekend, Charlie.
Totally. Thank you. I had big cowboy boots to fill, and so I was following in your footsteps, Will. Thank you. It was awesome.
All right, Charlie Kirk, thank you so much, man.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.